Hi, I'm Carlos from carloscoordinator.com, teacher of Japanese, professor, and PhD researcher on Japanese language acquisition at the University of Salamanca in Spain. Today, I'm going to tell you what you're doing wrong in your language learning journey and why you can't learn Japanese or any other language that way. Since the second half of the 20th century, we've known that we have two types of memories. Declarative memories that refer to facts, such as, I know that bird is called chicken. And procedural memories are those that refer to skills, such as, I know how to turn on the computer, or I know how to make a sentence in Japanese. Speaking a language needs two types of memories, declarative memories and procedural memories. Declarative memories refer to words such as, I know the colors, or I know the capitals of several countries in the world. And procedural memories refers to grammar, such as, I know how to make a sentence in the present tense in English, or in the past tense. This holds true for our native language. However, when we're learning a new language, especially in earlier stages of acquisition, when we're still not sure how to properly speak fluently, we depend more on declarative memory because we have to actually and consciously learn a grammar point in order to effectively use it in a conversation. Neuroscience research has shown that we firstly acquire the syntactic structure of a grammar point and then the meaning associated behind it. So first, we have to focus on the actual grammar point, knowing how to build it. Like in English, when we talk about the present tense in the he form, we know that we have to add an S to it. We have to know how to add the S to it, and then we unconsciously, little by little, acquire the meaning behind it. However, in the very beginning, in order to build a syntactic structure, create a sentence, it takes us time. In order to finally and fully acquire the language, we have to do this automatically. And how do we do it? Well, either rehearsing, practicing it, making sure that you know how to build it first, and then use it in a conversation. We also have to take our native language into account. You have to understand that whenever we're learning a new structure in a different language, we're using our own language in our own brain to understand it. Let's go over some of the methods that we have considered useless or not efficient. Self-studying doesn't really work because we're not fulfilling the first step in language acquisition, which is syntactic automation. We are not producing sentences that use the grammar point because we're just focused on comprehension, not production. Also, there is no interaction, so we won't be acquiring the intrinsic meaning later on. A similar thing happens with using textbooks or apps such as Duolingo. Duolingo focuses on comprehension, not production. Therefore, the first step of acquisition is not really met. That's why most of these apps and textbooks are not working if we're not actually making good use of them. Classroom learning might not be very efficient either, as we are focusing more on comprehension, understanding what the teacher is saying, and not production. We might understand how a sentence is produced, but we're not producing it ourselves, and we are not communicating, so we are not acquiring the intrinsic meaning behind constructions. First, building before using. After checking the explanation on a grammar point, oh, this is how you say that. Don't just automatically go to comprehension-based exercises. Make sure that you're able to produce the grammar point that you've acquired using different verbs and words. It's more efficient if you learn easier grammar points, so grammar points that are more similar to your native language grammar points before. After you learn them and you know how to actually make sentences with them, it's better to use them right away in a conversation. How do we deal with harder grammar points then? Well, any grammar point that exists is there because there is a context in which you use it, and there is an objective that you use it for. So make sure that you know these two things for learning harder grammar points, even if they're untranslatable to your native language. The methodology that I've developed for Japanese language acquisition for English, Spanish, and French speakers follows these principles and many more for an efficient language acquisition, especially in oral-based settings. So you'll be learning how to speak in no time within the first class that you'll be producing language right away. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Bye bye!